everyone. My name is Arianna De Mario. I am Director of Strategic Partnerships at Ashoka, and today I'm going to talk about the pet-human bond as a powerful source to increase the health and well-being of society. So, some context. In 2017, Purina and Ashoka embarked on a journey to identify social entrepreneurs who harness the pet-human bond for the health and well-being of society. But first things first, what is Ashoka? So Ashoka is the world's largest community of social entrepreneurs. What are social entrepreneurs? Social entrepreneurs are innovative, future-focused individuals who are solving for society's most pressing social, cultural, and environmental challenges. Ashoka was founded in 1980 and gained its reputation by naming and socializing the idea of social entrepreneurship, which is essentially the combination of a new idea, creativity, and entrepreneurial character with social impact and ethical fiber. Ashoka recognizes that our world is changing faster than ever before, and its vision is really for a world where solutions outrun problems thanks to the contribution of everyone. Basically, a world where everyone is a change maker, someone who is creating positive change and empowering others to do the same. Social entrepreneurs are leading the way towards this world, transforming systems and inspiring people to make a difference in their own communities. Accordingly, Ashoka builds the Everyone a Changemaker world in 3 steps. So first of all, we find and cultivate social entrepreneurs in every corner of the world whose system change and innovation solve deep-rooted social problems. So after a rigorous selection process, we invite them into the Ashoka Fellowship and support them for life. The second step is building networks of partners and allies that believe in the power of each individual to take action in solving social problems. So we partner with schools, universities, corporations, citizen sector organizations, and the media and other influencers to catalyze change-making for the good of societies. And finally, third step, we use the power of these networks that we create to enable everyone to be a change maker as well, inspiring change making in the public at large and working to give all citizens the confidence and tools to solve problems for the good of all. So this is just a quick snapshot of our global network. So as I was mentioning, Ashoka was founded 40 years ago, and today we're present in more than 90 countries and have a network of over 3,500 fellows, so leading social entrepreneurs worldwide. What is special about Ashoka Fellows is that they address the root causes of problems rather than the symptoms by changing systems and shifting mindsets. So first of all, they don't focus on their own project only, but empower others to replicate their models to scale impact everywhere. They know that civic engagement isn't always enough and address policymakers to change policy approaches around those issues. They expose issues to the public opinion under a different light, fighting stigmatization around them. They change markets or create new ones, removing barriers to economic opportunities. And basically, Ashoka's role is to accompany them in all these steps. As I was mentioning, Ashoka Fellowship is for life. So we do this on an ongoing basis. Now, here is what this has to do with the pet-human bond. So we have seen from some of our fellows that the pet-human bond has a tremendous power to solve societal issues. Michelle Lam in Canada realized that one of the main barriers to access to healthcare for the homeless population is that many who are homeless own a pet. And many health service providers at the same time don't allow pets, which in turn is a deterrent for the homeless population to go get treated. So she started a model of free mobile clinic, both for pets and homeless owners, to overcome this barrier, changing the lives of hundreds of thousands, both of pets and humans. Another example of Ashoka Fellow in this field is Nalinika Obeyesekere, who with her project Pet Vet Clinic launched Sri Lanka's first multi-doctor veterinary practice and uses a portion of the profits to subsidize free treatment for street animals and promote animal safety awareness. So she is reforming Sri Lanka's animal care system by simultaneously improving veterinary education, tending to the country's large stray animal population, and introducing new commercial opportunities in the animal service industry. Finally, an example of a younger changemaker from our network. So Chandani, who is in this picture, started a movement in her neighborhood in India to attend to the stray dogs and was able to shift the perception that kids and adults in her area had of dogs as carriers of illness and basically worthless beings to companions that teach empathy lessons to kids and adults. So you can see this beautiful quote from her on this slide about empathizing with learning how to empathize with humans through empathizing with animals first. So going back to nurturing the network, so the second step that I had mentioned on which Ashoka operates on. How does one of these large-scale collaborations for social impact look like? So as mentioned, Ashoka and Purina started collaborating in 2017. Ashoka's vision is to unleash everyone's change-making potential to solve the most pressing societal challenges. And we saw the opportunity to basically find more models like the ones that I've just mentioned from Michelle, Nalinika, and Chandani. At the same time, Purina as a company is fully dedicated to improving the lives of pets and people who love them. And so the partnership with Ashoka, Purina saw the opportunity again to find social innovators in the field and expose the power of the pet-human bond to benefit society as a whole. So the two goals I've just mentioned basically came together into a common vision, the vision of identifying and supporting social innovators that harness the mutual positive power of the pet-human bond for the health and well-being of society. And so our partnership, we really want to expose and elevate the power of the pet-human bond for social impact through this shared vision. So what did we concretely do? So first of all, we started by collecting insights on social innovation in the field of the pet-human bond. So interviews with social innovators like Michelle Lam in 2017, other social entrepreneurs, and Purina stakeholders. So we started mapping opportunities for social innovators and identifying approaches to social impact, as well as barriers to social impact in the field. So this is a quick overview of what the network mapping insights showed us. So we identified 5 main ways in which pets improve human well-being and social innovators are leveraging this special bond. So, and I won't go in details through this, but as you can see, one focus is pet-assisted therapies, reducing pressure on health system or fostering resilience and treating behavioral problems. One other area of focus is programs fostering community integration by reducing barriers to access to services. A third area is programs in schools to foster children empathy through the interaction with pets. So these were some early insights that we collected based on the work that social entrepreneurs are doing in this field. Another area of intervention that social entrepreneurs leverage is basically approaches to improve pets' welfare. And again, we have identified 5 main trends. So, and again, highlighting just a couple of things here without going too much into details. So we have identified initiatives improving the culture around adoption, initiatives reimagining the role of vets from providers of health to pets to almost being educators of human behavior as well and teachers of crucial relational skills. Another area is about making the topic of the pet-human bond present on the political agenda, leveraging the media to shift perception of pets and their contribution to society. And finally, programs for pet welfare, especially tackling the stray population. So, moving on to the barriers to social innovation in the field. So here is what we have identified. So barriers around resources to start with, mainly focus on a lack of full recognition on the benefits of pet therapies for human health and behavior. Another main area of constraints in the resources field are basically the funding constraints for projects on this specific topic. And again, this assumes a number of facets that you can see on this slide. Then this fits into the roles space and generates especially a lack of network collaboration, because obviously since funding is limited, there is a competition around it. So projects in the field tend to basically not collaborate too closely, and as they are in competition to access resources. And generally speaking, there is apparently a lack of a bigger vision on the role of the pet-human bond for the health of society. Also because of the lack of research and recognition that I was mentioning before. And then finally, in the area of mindsets, there is a general, basically, lack of awareness in the broader public about the benefits of the pet-human bond for society, and an absence of the topic from the political agenda. So this, in turn, feeds back again into a lack of investment on the topic and in the research around it, and in funding projects in this area. So it's a bit of a vicious cycle, so to speak. So with these insights, going back to the partnership between Ashoka and Purina, we zoomed in on what type of innovations we wanted to look for. So we launched the first edition of the Better with Pets Prize in 2018 to identify social innovators in the sector around these main areas that you see on the slide. So leveraging the pet-human bond to help develop further key emotional and behavioral competencies, bringing the power of the pet-human bond to the community level to promote inclusivity, enhancing physical health and wellness through pet therapies, or by enabling people and pets to live a healthier life, reimagining the role of pets in society, and revolutionizing veterinary care for pets. Building on the learnings from the first edition of the prize in 2018, so we expanded the scope in 2020, the second edition of the prize, with two application streams. So besides the piloted implemented projects stream that we had been focusing on in the first edition, this time we also focus on idea stage applications, really to unlock the potential of younger change makers who maybe haven't had time yet to implement their ideas. So they do have a powerful idea, but they haven't had the opportunity to translate it into reality yet. And then another major change that we did with this year edition was expanding the geographical scope from what was previous only Europe to the EMENA region more broadly. So Europe, Middle East, and North Africa. And here on the slide, you see some basic stats of what we achieved. So we received 122 applications from 24 countries when it comes to the piloted initiatives, and 46 applications across 11 countries when it comes to the idea stage ones. Criteria to evaluate projects that we used in both editions of the prize really are innovation, so how new the idea or the approach to the topic is, social impact, so focusing on beneficiaries and how much impact really the project is creating on society and on different groups of stakeholders. Viability, especially from a financial point of view. So how long-term is the perspective of the project to make impact. Growth and leadership potential. So this focuses especially on the team and the setup around the project or the organization applying. And then the potential for creating shared value. So again, creating benefits for different groups in society and not just the immediate direct beneficiaries. And here on this slide, you see a snapshot of the variety of applications that we received from a variety of countries. So these are the 5 finalists of the piloted innovations applications. As you can see, 2 are tackling the topic of homelessness. Street Vet in particular was in the end the final winner. And they are providing free accessible veterinary care to pets whose owners are experiencing homelessness. Gamel Plan, who was the runner-up from France, is helping homeless pet owners to feed, care, and keep their pets and get all benefits of pet ownership for a successful social reintegration. And then the other 3 projects. So Evidence from France is making animal mediation an essential component of reintegration after prison release of inmates. Courthouse Dogs is bringing dogs into courts to humanize them and to making visible the minors involved in the judicial system and the stress that they go through. And then finally, Reading Dogs is helping children learn by taking specially trained dogs into schools and making reading fun. So these are the finalists of the implemented initiatives. When it comes to the idea stage finalists, of which Homely Home, as you see here, as you see on the slide, was the winner. Again, 3 different approaches. So Homely Home is revolutionizing both human and animal rehabilitation through the creation of meaningful lifelong bonds between the 2. PetMe business model in Saudi Arabia is providing a pet adoption culture full of trust, care, and endless love, and really revolutionizing the way that pet adoption is looked at in a cultural context in which is not always that obvious to adopt pets instead than buying them. And finally, Solivet in France, again, going back to the topic of homelessness is creating the conditions for dialogue between precarious animal owners and social housing structures. Now, going back to the 3 stages that Ashoka operates on, how do we continue this work, equipping everyone to be a change maker? So here are some next steps that we are currently undertaking, but also ideas for the broader network to get involved in the future. So we are supporting the scaling the impact of the social innovators that we have identified so far through the Better with Pets Prize. We want to identify more social innovators on this topic, and especially we want to identify more areas of solutions of social change, again, related to this topic. Related to this, we want to expose more the power of the cat-human bond because, as you might have noticed, the applications that we got through the prize are mostly focused on the dog-human bond. And then finally, we want to strengthen the network of stakeholders who are passionate about this topic and who can contribute to unleash its power for social change. So, to conclude, I want to leave the audience with these 2 open questions. So as mentioned, most applications and projects we sourced so far are focused on the dog-human bond. We know that the cat-human bond, however, can be equally powerful. So how can we leverage it better? How do we find more projects in this sector? And especially if you are aware of some, please reach out to us and let us know. And then the second question is around the role of vets to advance and everyone a changemaker world. So given the power of the bond, what role can vets play to create a better society, both for pets and humans? And to conclude, I just want to leave you with a closing quote from the Ashoka founder, Bill Drayton, who strongly believes that finding your own power as a change maker is the most important thing at both the personal and organizational level that you can do. And that all that you need to do is to give yourself permission to be a change maker and contribute to improve our world. Thank you very much.